My name is David Stine, and my company is David Stine Furniture. And my wife and I have been doing this business for almost 30 years, and we build custom furniture from naturally sourced and sustainable hardwoods that we get right here in Illinois. Solar fits in with us because even when I was growing up as a kid in the 70s, my grandfather was always, listen, take what you need from the land and leave some for the next guy, and things are going to be great. And as long as you take care of the land will take care of you. And I think solar fits hand in glove with that sort of ethos. You know, if we can make a little bit less of a carbon footprint and, you know, save money at the same time, it's kind of a no-brainer for us. Well, I initially looked into solar back in 2018, and the numbers just didn't work for us then. So we looked into it a little bit, we kind of let it rest, but then when the guys from ARC approached me, it was funny, there must have been a blanket campaign because they approached us, and then we probably got 4 or 5 other companies that approached us at the same time. And Matt with ARC was just really, really good. He explained everything thoroughly. He came out and met with us and just laid everything out in an understandable, easy to read way that made the case for it in such a way where it was just kind of a no-brainer. You know, the math made sense, the numbers made sense, so you know, we went ahead and went for it. That's another whole reason to look at solar, because we're not just a business that looks at the week, the quarter, the month, whatever it is. We look 20 years down the road, and with this equipment and this ability to save money, you know, it helps our business bottom line, and also I think it helps the resale on our properties if we ever would go that route. Our choice to go with solar was driven more just by the bottom line. The rising cost of electricity, sure, it had something to do with it, but if the installation and the equipment and the cost down the line and the savings down the line didn't make sense, along with the tax credits, we wouldn't have done it. So having ARC come in and tell us exactly how it was going to help our business in the long term is really what made us pull the trigger. Our contact, Matt, was great. When the project started, our contact at the company, Keeley, who coordinated all of the construction teams, she was great. And then I gotta say, I lived here my whole life, and I know a lot of the linemen and things that run Ameren and MJM, the 2 electric companies that we're working with, and they all commented to me what a professional installation that ARC did and how they use top of the line equipment, and they see a lot of stuff every day, and they said, no, we went with the right company. Yeah, right from the start, where Matt laid everything out to us from a cost perspective, through the installation and then the powering up of the system has been pretty seamless. I mean, we ran into delays here and there, but good communication the whole time, and I think we're pretty much right back on schedule. The install was good, the activation was good and easy. Both of our power companies worked well with ARC to get everything up and running very quickly once the installation was completed, like within 3 days on both projects. We've been only under solar power for about a month and 10 days on our first location, and on this location here, probably only about a week. But you know, on our first location, we can already see we're net positive in our generation, so we're looking to bank those savings so that this winter, when we start using it for heat, you know, we'll maybe even out throughout the year, which is our goal. Well, our first location was our original shop. It's about a mile from here, and it's an industrial warehouse sort of location, but it's in a different power company. It's with an electrical cooperative. And now this location where we're sitting at now is our main production facility, and you know, this is the bulk of our usage. So most of our usage will be over here, and that's with Ameren, which is like a huge company. Yeah, I think solar fits perfectly in with the way that we treat our land, our resources, our customer base. And people do appreciate when we try to be, you know, green, and we take care of the resources and the environment. I think that's a great selling point, fits in perfectly with our brand. Now, on the other hand, we just did a huge big study with the MBA people up at Northwestern. People do not care if you're green or anything else. They want to hear the number, and they want to see the style, and they care about the quality, but you can tell them you're green all day long and it will not sway one person. And I hate that that's true, but it's true. If other business owners asked me if solar was a good idea, you know, judging from the experience I've had so far, I would say absolutely. And as a matter of fact, we're working on a project in Alton right now that our ARC consultant is bidding on, and we've got another couple people who are interested, who have small businesses like mine, who will probably be talking to you guys. I think I was very happy with the way the process went. Maybe my only regret is not doing it a year sooner when the tax credits were even a little bit better. I mean, again, just reinforcing the earlier points, I think solar is really good for our brand. It reinforces the ethos and the sort of core values that we try to incorporate every day in our business, which is taking care of the environment, taking care of our neighbors, and just kind of trying to do the right thing. I unreservedly would recommend ARC for your solar projects. I mean, talk to Matt, talk to the other sales representatives. They actually know what they're talking about. They understand the tax consequences, and they can game it out for you in the long term, which is super helpful in making a decision. Well, we've known in this country for 40 years that solar and wind and hydro is the way to go, and we still don't do it.